The next time you walk through a parking lot, play a game with me. Ignore the luxury logos. Ignore the sports cars. Look for the biggest truck you can find. The giant tires. The chrome package. The aggressive lights. The one that looks like it could pull a mountain out of the ground. Then ask yourself one question. Who owns it? The highest earner in the building? The executive? The millionaire? Probably not. Because one of the strangest patterns in personal finance is that the people who look richest are often carrying the heaviest financial chains. And the people quietly becoming wealthy usually drive something nobody notices. A man named Ryan worked at a distribution company in Arizona. Ryan earned around $65,000 a year. Stable job, decent life, nothing dramatic. Then one weekend he bought a truck. Not because he hauled equipment. Not because he owned land. Not because his job required it. He bought it because it felt right. Leather seats. Lift package. Premium wheels. Technology package. $70,000. Ryan kept repeating the same sentence to himself. I deserve this. Then another sentence. The payment isn't even that bad. And that sentence is where the entire story begins. Because almost nobody buys cars using total cost. People buy using monthly pain. The dealership never asked Ryan what kind of retirement he wanted. They never asked how much freedom he wanted in 10 years. They asked one question. What monthly payment are you comfortable with? Ryan said $900. Perfect. Numbers moved around. Loan terms change. Paperwork appeared. Suddenly there it was. $900. Exactly what he wanted. Ryan walked out smiling. $900 sounds manageable. That is the trick. Because the payment is only the entrance fee. Insurance arrives. Fuel arrives. Maintenance arrives. Registration arrives. Unexpected repairs arrive. Suddenly the truck isn't costing $900. It's costing $1,800. Almost $22,000 per year. Now imagine earning $60,000 annually. After taxes you bring home maybe $3,800 each month. Your truck quietly takes almost half. Half. Before rent. Before food. Before utilities. Before life. Nobody feels trapped on day one. That isn't how financial pressure works. Financial pressure leaks into life slowly. You postpone investing for 1 year. Then another. You tell yourself you'll start later. You tell yourself income will increase. You tell yourself things will improve. Then suddenly you're 45 wondering why your retirement account looks small despite working hard for 20 years. Every purchase has two prices. The visible price and the invisible price. The visible price of the truck is $70,000. That number sits on the sticker. But the invisible price is hiding underneath. Opportunity cost. Imagine investing $22,000 each year instead. Nothing exciting. No trading. No stock picking. No financial genius required. Just boring consistency. Year after year. Slowly. Quietly. The money compounds. 10 years later it becomes hundreds of thousands. 20 years later it becomes life-changing. 30 years later it becomes the kind of number people spend their entire lives chasing. The truck didn't just cost $70,000. It consumed a future version of your life. And nobody sends you a notification saying congratulations, your purchase removed $1.5 million from your future net worth. You never receive that bill. Now things become interesting. Because this isn't really about transportation. Watch truck commercials for a minute. Mountains. Dirt roads. Construction sites. A man standing beside a sunset looking like he personally invented hard work. The truck isn't being sold as transportation. It's being sold as identity. The message is simple. You're strong. You're independent. You're successful. You're practical. You're different. The industry learned something decades ago. People don't buy products. People buy stories about themselves. And when people buy identity instead of function, price stops mattering. Nobody comparison shops identity. Nobody says I can express rugged independence for $30,000 less. Emotion replaces math. Now imagine Ryan after 3 years. He still likes the truck. But something changed. He wants something newer. Maybe bigger tires. Maybe upgraded features. Maybe another model. Then he discovers a problem. The truck is worth $38,000. He still owes $44,000. He's underwater. Negative equity. $6,000 sitting between him and freedom. He can't sell it without paying the difference. He can't escape without carrying that debt into the next vehicle. So the $6,000 quietly follows him. Then maybe the next loan starts underwater too. Then another. And another. People eventually carry debt from vehicles they no longer even own. Ghost payments. Invisible chains attached to past decisions. Money is only part of the story. Because identity has friends. Imagine everyone around you drives trucks. Your coworkers drive trucks. Your neighbors drive trucks. Your father drove trucks. Your friends talk about trucks every weekend. Then one day you show up in a small used sedan. Suddenly it feels uncomfortable. Not because the sedan is bad. Because it feels like changing tribes. People underestimate how expensive social pressure can become. The financial cost might hurt later. But the emotional cost hurts immediately. And humans usually choose immediate comfort over future freedom. Here's something interesting. Real wealth is often extremely quiet. Many people assume millionaires drive luxury vehicles. But many quietly drive ordinary cars for years. Because wealthy people eventually learn a strange lesson. The goal is not looking rich. The goal is becoming rich. Looking rich creates attention. Becoming rich creates freedom. Those are different games. One game rewards appearance. The other rewards patience. Imagine two people earning $70,000 annually. Person A buys the truck. Person B buys a reliable used vehicle. Person A spends $1,800 each month. Person B spends $700. Difference: $1,100. Person B invests that money every month for decades. Nothing dramatic happens initially. Then compounding starts behaving like magic. Years pass. Money starts earning money. Eventually, Person B reaches a place where work becomes optional. Person A owns several old vehicles and still wonders where the money went. Same salary. Same city. Same career. Different decisions. Different endings. Now, this isn't an argument against trucks. Trucks can be useful tools. For some people, they genuinely create income. But if a vehicle costs more than your future can comfortably carry, you aren't buying transportation anymore. You're buying identity. You're buying status. You're buying a feeling. Maybe that's worth it to you. Maybe it isn't. Just make the decision with your eyes open. Because the next time you walk through a parking lot, remember something. The loudest vehicle in the lot is not always sitting on top of the biggest bank account. Sometimes it's sitting on top of the biggest payment. And the person quietly driving a 4-year-old car 3 rows over might be building something nobody can see. Because real wealth usually isn't trying to be noticed.